Subscribe to Rasslin with Racism on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Fanbase, Spotify, and Non-Crackers at Al on Twitter X.
So now you got Italians that's able to look out for each other. Floyd, we was talking about earlier blood protection. We was talking about professional wrestling being unionized. We was talking about the fact that JD Madonna got a job because of Finn Balor. You know what I'm saying? They from the same hometown. Hey, come on in. Sheamus pulled all them guys in, this, that, and the other. Samoans could pull all these Samoan people in. You know, Becky Lynch could pull her little bitch in. You know, the Asians, Asuka could go to Japan and bring all these little people in. Penta could come to America and bring all those little fucking Mexican buddies and shit. Who's here to protect American Negroes? You know, we got to stab each other in the back just so we can have our one little spot. Why do you believe that American Negroes right here between 2025 can't protect each other and look out for one another?
We're just not in the proper high spots. You know, a lot of us want to include The Rock, but I don't even think The Rock is really in it for the Samoan people. Besides his family, I mean, besides his family, who else is he looking out for from the Samoa people? You know, a couple Islanders to help out the Asian culture, because I don't know what it is with him and the Asian culture. They just got this connection. But man, we just need some people in high places. You know, it's nice to have some white folks, but we need some black folks in high places. We need some high folks. We need some black folks in those TKO seats to look out for us. You know, to be able to push for us. You know, not just rely on us to push, to really draw the black network, to draw the black people, to draw the hood, the urban culture into wrestling and shit. That's difficult. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at Swerve. He tried. He failed. Who else got the push, the black push? Yeah, you look at anybody that try to push black folks during the pandemic. They try to get black, you know, to use the hurt business. They try to put a bunch of black people as champions. They try to really kind of bring the black folks into wrestling then, and then the minute they brought in fans, this black champion lost, that black champion lost. They broke up the hurt business. They separated Lashley and MVP. They separated MVP and Omos.
And they did it immediately, right?
Pretty much. It was the minute they brought in fans, it was like it was done. That the black folks were done.
So I want to know, like I said, you've been around pretty much as long as Rasslin with racism been around, you've been around. And you know me. When it come down to white folks saying that, oh, AEW isn't racist, remember this. I want you to remember this. Remember how hard they used to throw Scorpio Sky at me? Remember that shit? They swore up and down. He was the first ever AEW Tag Team Champion with a white man. He was the first one to go
MIA.
TNT. No, he wasn't. Nope. No, he wasn't. That's the crazy part. That's why I kept telling them, look, listen, all it was just to wait and see. All it was just to wait and see. You might have been around the time of Bobby Lashley. This is before I discovered that he was Hispanic. When I was around with Bobby Lashley, I just kept telling people, wait and see. Y'all got this is what I keep telling y'all can't get so caught up in these crumbs. We need to see the tangibles behind it. And Floyd, you made that perfect point. We need them in these executive roles. You know, it's always great for us to have our own institutions, but when we have our own institutions, we face death. However, I have also acknowledged that if we generally American Negroes with money is not going to dump their money into a wrestling show thing. And when you do get guys like O'Shea Jackson and stuff that may be wrestling fans that could pull the resources to do that, they're not going to have a black first mindset. You know what I'm saying? So all institutions going to have a lot of problems within itself. But this is showing that WWE is a racist organization, white supremacist organization. Y'all not allowing us to sit at the table with y'all at all. You know what I'm saying? In these executive roles at all. This could alleviate the fucking problem that we have on television. And they not willing to do that. They not willing to do that. So that's why we wrestle with racism. But yeah, they was throwing people like Scorpio Sky in my face hard during that time, and you know it, and to the point to where we got the reports that we got this week. You know what I'm saying? Private Party. You was there when they was throwing Private Party at me. Every month they would have a match. See, Private Party was on the show.
Oh man, the tag championships. Oh man.
So I don't want nobody to get caught up in what you see right now with Swerve and, you know, all this stuff. Because at the end of the day, you know, this is the third time I'm asked this question. Owner, I asked you about the successes of New Day. Despite the fact they got the tag team titles, you can't name any tangible successes that they have had. It was two other people that I asked about.
Javon and Trick.
Javon Nevers, you can't name no tangible successes. Trick Williams, you can't name no tangible successes. Hey. Mike, let's move on to Swerve Strickland. Is there any tangible success for Swerve Strickland in 2025? We're heading into June, by the way.
No.
None.
No. They could have had it at Dynasty, but they blew it.
They could have. He got a world title match for no reason. We noted that Dean Ambrose had a much longer, at this point, title reign than Swerve Strickland, right?
Yep.
And Dean Ambrose title reign has been shit, right?
Yep.
And the fans and the masses call that out, right?
Pretty much.
We state that AEW and the WWE is willing to kill their business before they give American Negroes tangible success. I do see tangibles behind. I'm starting to see these tangibles. I'm starting to see these tangibles behind Powerhouse Hobbs because he's on a lower scale than Swerve Strickland. Do y'all believe that that's the case? They got more room to grow with him, and they reached their max with Swerve.
Wanda, Neil, what you saying for this?
There's room to grow with Hobbs.
Like,
I think they can go further with Hobbs, actually.
With Hobbs, he has a chance. He seriously has a chance.
I don't believe that he got a chance in AEW. I'm going to tell you why. And it's funny because you're right, owner. He can go further than Swerve. If he... Well, it's kind of hard to say that right now. I was going to say if he went to the WWE. But Triple H got a serious racial problem. But AEW is not built off of big men at all. You know what I'm saying? And I can say that white folk are going to say that the DEI, I'm talking about the big guys that's at AEW, Brian Cage, Wardlow, Lance Archer and all that shit, they in the back congregating saying that, oh, because he's black, that's why they using him as the big man representation. But it's a shame that AEW is not a big man company because those big guys that I named, not only are they big, but they good. You know, if utilized correctly, they could be really good. And it's a shame that they're not being utilized at all. But you got to know that they feel that type of way. Floyd. First of all, welcome to Rasslin with Racism. I'm going to ask certain key questions, and you know, you on point. You have been on point, so I appreciate that. I'm gonna ask you just certain questions real quick. You know, we You know how like I say, you from the beginning. You know, I just started off asking how many American Negroes wrestled on this program. You know, this, that, and the other, right? And white folk go into an uproar. But how do you feel? Let's not even talk about the fans no more. If the roster was to grow, they bring Trick Williams up, they bring Wesley up, they bring Lash Legend up, they bring Obafemi up, they bring Malik Blade up. When you really start naming through this stuff, you realize there's not many Negroes in NXT, right? But you bring them up in the locker room, and you still got the street.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know, talking is cheap. But we can't all condemn the white man. There's something we got to do. The white man is doomed, but we got to help him on his way. And I don't mean in the jest of hate. I mean according to the plan of divine providence. He that has been up a long time must come down. He that's been down a long time must rise.
If you are an American Negro and an American Negro only, subscribe to Rasslin with Racism on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Fanbase, Spotify, Rumble, and at Crackers That Out on Twitter X. You can find more white truths.
Sure not pretty, and her skirt is short. Lord knows the legs are steady. And to walk to school, she's got to get up early. Her clothes on, but they are never ever dirty. They're living just enough for the city. Her brother is smart. He's got more sense than many. His patience is long, but soon he won't have any. 'Cause to find a job is like a haystack needle. 'Cause where he lives, they don't use colored people. They're living just enough for the city.
And now, our feature presentation.
But we can't all condemn the white man. There's something we got to do. The white man is doomed, but we got to help him on his way.
I want to get to, I seen something. You know, it's a TNA invasion. I'm looking at the background. They had a big brawl in the parking lot. They had a big brawl in the ring and stuff like that. Just regular build up for Survivor Series type stuff to the pay-per-view that's coming up in a week or two. You know, a lot of build up. And I was just looking in the background. You know, the TNA is still some sort of development for the WWE, and I know that like people like Joe Hendry getting ready to go to the WWE. Joe Hendry ain't shit. I mean, if they don't change this guy up within a year, then what type of career do they believe this guy's gonna have? You know what I'm saying? People like Joe Hendry make me see the value, and people like LA Knight. I actually like LA Knight. LA Knight is doing stupid type shit, but the reason why I like LA Knight is because it seemed like he put more effort than anybody else besides Naomi.
Shit, I remember the
And
days
Trick.
of TNA when he was Eli Drake, and he would have this whole thing where it's like, when you have that dummy button, it's like, dummy, yeah.
I mean, LA Knight's always done different little shit to, you know, get his character across. And I think
yeah,
some of the people at the top in WWE take offense to that.
Well, I don't think they take offense to it. It's like they caught up on their circle. You know, one of the issues that I'm having right now, and they really got to break out of this. They have got to break out of this. We only had 3 WWE champions over the last 5 years. That has got it. You know, that worked in the '80s when Hulk Hogan wasn't on TV every single week. That worked in the '70s when Bruno wasn't wrestling every single. He was wrestling once a month, if that. You know what I'm saying? And wrestling in different areas on top of that. You know what I'm saying? So his stuff wasn't on TV. That worked back then. That shit don't work now. It's too fast paced. And so when I sit up here and I see the same circle of contenders, on top of that, you know, this circle of contenders as far as Kevin Owens and Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre and maybe Sami Zayn here. These is the same people that was challenging Cody Rhodes. It's the same people that was challenging John Cena. It's the same people that was challenging Roman Reigns since day one.
That goes back to not building up young talent. You got to
Well,
prep them.
why do you think they not doing that though? And it's getting to the point. It's crazy because it is getting to the point to where these guys are. John Cena on his way out the door. Roman Reigns, I wouldn't give a shit if I seen another fucking Roman Reigns match. Where I mean, let's be honest. Where do y'all see them moving on with Roman Reigns for the next 3 years?
God, I mean,
Imagine
Roman
that.
Reigns. I really don't care what he does next. I haven't really been invested in his character since he debuted.
They want to sit up here and say that Roman Reigns is the biggest draw in the company. The WWE draw itself. WWE do fine whether Roman Reigns is there or not.
Yeah.
But Triple H said this, I think, Triple H said this 10 years ago, that WWE is not in the business of building the stars. They don't want guys
said that. I need you to send that to me.
They don't want guys getting over and getting big and then running off to Hollywood in the middle of a run. They want to keep them to where they are just inside the WWE bubble, and there's no way to bust out.
Okay. Now that you say that, I vaguely remember that. I mean, I get it too, you know, and that, but see, it's crazy because how could that be the direction when you getting these NIL people, the people that's really gonna take your quick buck and get the fuck on, like Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle don't give a fuck if he in the WWE or not. He grabbed this couple of bucks and he know that he can make that fucking doing, you know, going back to MMA or something, or even if he wanted, he don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what they're counting on. They don't want guys who are really invested in trying to be there for a long time. They want that revolving door.
Well, you're gonna need that revolving door because now we living in the once again, we are living in the age to where they got so much content on TV to where we seeing these guys at length 2 or 3 times a week, so we can get tired of them within 5 years. That's what I was saying about NXT. We done seen if these people in NXT for 5 years and we done seen them rise from the bottom to the top, it appears that by the time they get to the WWE, that we've just seen the best of them, and then they got to scale back down. I was looking at the invasion stuff, and I'm sitting up there looking at the people there, and it was so damn white. While everybody telling me to look toward TNA and look toward Evolve and look toward NXT, and they can only pinpoint when we talk about American Negro, Trick Williams and Wesley. Well, mind you, Wesley is not there. Javon Evans. So we really looking at two. I'm sorry?
Whatever happened to Wesley?
I don't know. His color of his skin is what happened to him. But the key is this. The key is this. I looked in the background and it was just so damn white. It was just so white. And this is the future. This is the future. And the people expect us to hang on to the fact that, hey, we got to hold on because within 3 to 5 years, Trick Williams got the potential to be the WWE champion. Funny part about that is he's going to be fired. And they're going to have some new, hot, young talent down in NXT. And we got to go through the same circle of bullshit again, to where people got to point all the way down to NXT to point to some Negro success. Hey, I said this in somewhat of the instance 2 years ago, and here we are today. Last year, everybody was hyping up the big three. It was all about the big three, and now we just got the one Jamaican. I mean, it is coming to a head. Everything that wrestling with racism has been presented leads to American Negroes getting erased, and it is happening right in front of our eyes. I need American Negroes to wake up and realize that we are being erased when they don't even have something to replace for Bianca Belair, because Naomi got pregnant. They don't even have nothing. They can't even come up with nothing off the top of their head to do with Bianca Belair. What does Jade do now? Now, okay, let's give it the benefit of the doubt. Bianca come back next week. Are you gonna turn Bianca heel against Jade?
Wouldn't surprise me if they did that.
I mean, I don't need them to do something. I'm gonna need them to do something besides having her sit on the sidelines, but forcing us to love Rhea Ripley, forcing us to watch Becky Lynch do what she's doing right now, which is something that we don't give a shit about. I'm tired of people pointing down. I'm tired of looking at Trick Williams and can't help but to see Carmelo Hayes. Triple H got to go. I need everybody to sign this petition. Mike, what's up? Let's keep moving right quick. It's time to give full accountability today. How you doing there, brother?
Yeah, doing all right.
All right. Can I get an American Negro update?
Yes, sir.
On AEW Dynamite.
We got 2 foundational Black Americans wrestling on Dynamite.
Okay, and this too is becoming a trend now. Just out of curiosity, who was the 2?
So we had Lee Johnson with Blake Christian taking on the Gates of Agony.
I'm sorry.
And the name of they gave a name for Lee Johnson and Blake Christian's tag team. One of the worst tag team names I've ever heard in my fucking life.
Oh boy.
They called them the Swirl.
Really?
That is their name.
So I'm gonna hold my opinion on that. I'm gonna hold my opinion on that. Real quick. Okay. All right. I don't even know where to approach that. Lee Johnson was a name that I did not expect to hear. I'm sorry. Who did they face again?
Gates of Agony.
Okay. So they needed somebody to continue that right quick. Before we get on that, where has Lee Johnson been?
If I had to guess, most likely on ROH.
Okay. Was he teaming with somebody else? No, that's Captain Sean D. His bitch ass. Oh boy, he's a coon. I got into it with it. He was the first one. When that swole shit happened, I think he jumped up before the swole shit and started talking shit. I'm like, you bitch. I forgot what he did, but oh my God, we blew it. We had it out that day. And he been the bitch ever since. And it's funny too, because his career actually didn't do shit. So everything that I was saying about him at that time turned out to be true. How about that, Dane? But anyway, Lee Johnson, that's crazy. That is very interesting that they brought him out a week after Lee Moriarty, right?
Yep.
Got a world title match. Yeah, you're pandering. Does this seem like a tag team that's going to continue on, or did they just display them to move forward the gates of agony?
I think this was just like a one-off.
Yeah, kind of like Lee Moriarty, right? Was he on Dynamite this week?
Not at all.
Oh, okay. Back to the nigger show. All right, cool. Who is the other person?
Powerhouse Hobbs, where him and Samoa Joe were teaming up with Hangman Adam Page to take on the Death Riders.
Now, you know what's funny about this? Samoa Joe is the number one contender for the world championship, isn't he?
Yep.
How?
What happened was after Joe, Hobbs, and Hangman beat the Death Riders, after the match, Hangman went to hand Joe and Hobbs the titles. And Joe dropped his, and he thought Hangman was sliding him. So him and Hangman get into a bit of an altercation after the match. And then with interviews, Hangman basically challenged Joe to Wrestle Dream. And Joe was cutting a promo talking about how Hangman never beat him.
Oh, God.
I'm just happy that Hangman it didn't get sucked back into the Death Riders vortex.
Yeah, but you know, Mike, that is some lazy shit because this is literally the second time in two pay-per-views in a row that Hangman Adam Page challenged his challenger for the title, right?
And he called out Lee Moriarty, or was that like an open challenge?
No, actually, wait a minute. No, Don Callis was wanted to actually initially challenge Hangman to put his title on the line against a member of the Don Callis family.
Okay, maybe I got that mixed up. But either way it go, you know, and this is amazing because Samoa Joe, who should be in the mode of giving back, you know, this should be the time. Hey, Powerhouse Hobbs is standing right beside me. He's in greater shape. He's younger. You know, why this? You know what I'm saying? And again, so you could put the world championship, you could put him in the main event scene. The fucking Jap is injured. What the fuck do that leave Powerhouse Hobbs? You know what I'm saying? This is what I say. One form of injustice doesn't cancel out the other. And let's not get it twisted. Both of these are baby faces, and they are not going to turn heel for Hangman Adam
It'd
Page.
be stupid if they did.
Really, it would. And Hangman Adam Page is not
Yes.
going to turn heel for them. That would be stupid too, especially off this year-long heel run that we done had from Dean Ambrose and shit. So just Tony Khan is a fucking idiot. I know you don't want to see the Death Riders, but at the same time, Mike, do you? And hey, no disrespect to Joe. Joe ain't lost nothing. But like I said, with the fact that we got Powerhouse Hobbs right next to him, Mike, do you want to actually see this match?
Hey, I'm looking forward to it. But I'd like to see Hobbs. Shit, I would love to see Hobbs in that fucking spot.
Well, I would like to think that they would have came off a little bit better than how they came off. Maybe I would be interested if they had a better reason for this.
I think they had Joe Gold Hangman. Because the way it was that Joe, it was more so Joe goaded Hangman into doing it, into giving him a shot.
So, you know, that's what I was saying about the WWE. When you got these circle of people, the same circle of people, it shows that don't nobody else have any drive, no younger talent have any drive to even challenge for the world title. So, with the three champions that we've had over the last 5 years, you know what I'm saying? Wrestling the same circle of people. Stone Cold said, if you don't want to be world champion in this business, then you got no business being in the business. And nobody is showing no drive. No one is showing no extra effort. But you get that in AEW, but it's still with the older people. It is still with the older people. And then, like I said, as much as we talk about Roman Reigns over the next 3 years, hey, What do the next 3 years look like for Seth Rollins? And what do the next 3 years look like for Dean Ambrose? For them to have come in just 12 years ago, people are ultimately sick of all three members of the Shield.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
That's crazy. Even despite Seth Rollins being really active in storylines, he's the most active in storylines and in the ring. People are still legitimately tired of him. It's funny because you don't even remember that Damian Priest was the world champion, do you?
I do.
Who did he even wrestle during his run?
Finn Balor as tag team champion.
Seth Rollins. He wrestled Seth Rollins as well.
Well, I know that for a particular reason. Kofi Kingston didn't get a title shot while he was the tag team champion.
He's never going to sniff the picture again. He's never going to get back anywhere close to a world championship.
Who you talking about? Damian Priest?
Oh, Kofi Kingston?
Oh, no,
Damian
not
Priest
at all.
Probably
fucking Nick Cartel.
Damian Priest probably get a shot before him.
Oh, most definitely. Like I said, I would have never had an issue with Kofi Kingston. Losing the title when he did. Actually, it makes sense how he lost the title, too, considering who he lost the title to. But they never made him a contender again, whatsoever, which made it seem like it was pandering. Let's go back into that history real quick, too, because I don't want this to go understated. Was everything that happened to Kofi Kingston, was that supposed to happen to Mustafa Ali?
I don't think they even had plans for him then.
No, they did. Oh, Mike, it was strong. It really was. Kofi Kingston took his spot because he got hurt. So he wasn't even considered. Kofi Kingston took his spot and something happened to where he got really, really hot. But he took his spot in the Elimination Chamber or something, but Ali really did get injured. And they were saying that he was going to challenge Bryan Danielson for the title at WrestleMania. But he got injured and Kofi took that spot. I'm wondering where they're going to give the title to Kofi. To what's his name? Now, the only reason why I could say that they made it audible is because of the type of character that Bryan Danielson had at that time. That going green shit and all this other different stuff. I don't think he would have lost to Ali. But I think that Kofi did catch on so strong that was the audible.
A good audible at that time.
Yeah, and Kofi Kingston was a defending champion. He was a fighting champion. He had contenders every month. They didn't put him in the main event.
He had a feud with Randy Orton.
Yeah, they didn't put him in the.
And Orton finally put him over.
Yeah, well, they didn't put none of his matches in the main event or nothing, but he was a fighting champion, and that is something that's missing. Because again, when we talk about these champions like Roman Reigns don't offer me nothing in the ring at all. He really don't. That is that is a terrible thing that Vince McMahon chose to do, to have Roman Reigns hold that title for so long. And it's terrible that Triple H attempted to continue it. And it's even more terrible that Cody Rhodes has been champion for a year. I hope that this is not going to be the future of the WWE for years to come. We really don't need to see these champions hold the title for over, a certain amount of months every time. You know what I'm saying? It is ridiculous. It shows that everybody below them ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. I really want to discover this. Like, what is going on who is the Intercontinental Champion right now?
Men's or women's?
Men.
Dominic.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh
Dom.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dominic Mysterio.
Key. They not doing. They haven't done shit with Dominic Mysterio. He just got Rusev just got a title match a couple of weeks ago. Don't nobody don't
Well,
nobody give a shit. That was so random. So random. Speaking of random, Andrade, it's funny that these Hispanics get so many opportunities that American Negroes don't get. This guy just jumped from one company to another. And it make me wonder. I know what happened with him in the WWE.
I did not see it coming.
Well, you should have. I
Because when I saw the man, I'm thinking, okay, because initially when I first saw that, I was like, wait, that looks. I'm thinking, okay, Chris Jericho's back, I guess, because the hair down. Because I'm not used to seeing Andrade with his hair down, because he usually has that shit in a bun. So when I saw the hair down, I'm thinking, okay, I guess Jericho's back, but then it's like, oh, Andrade's back.
yeah. Well, it's crazy because he was so fed up and frustrated by the time he left AEW because AEW wasn't doing shit with him, right? They literally did nothing with him, right?
I mean, he was trying to get himself fired. Then he steal off of Sammy Guevara, try to get out of
Yeah, I
contract.
remember that.
I think he tried to start a fight with Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, I remember that, and it's crazy because they literally. I'm surprised they punted or whatever the fuck he did. I'm surprised they threw his ass all the way down the Ring of Honor. I'm shocked that he had must have did some horrible shit to get knocked down that far. I don't feel bad for an instance, but you could clearly tell that sort of punishment. Same thing with Britt Baker. Where is Britt Baker?
I have no idea where she's
It's
at.
funny because Tony Khan hold these people under slavery, and I listen. The people that he's been holding under slavery is not going to hurt AEW. And if these people were to go to the WWE, it is not going to hurt AEW one instance. So I don't want to hear that excuse. Why is Tony Khan holding on to these people? Completely neglecting their careers. Look, they don't even have to go to the WWE. They can still go other places, and you holding these people up for what? Nobody likes Britt Baker. Don't nobody give a shit about the bitch. Don't nobody even like her wrestling no more. So why are you holding on to this bitch?
That's what I'd like to know. I mean, the division of fucking passed her by.
I don't give a shit.
Because that division's grown and passed her the fuck
I
by.
don't give a shit about Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks is a racist, white piece of shit. He's a cosplayer. He's a phony.
Wait, who said anything
No,
about
wait.
Ricky?
Listen to me. He's a phony. He's a fake. But I do know the difference between right and wrong. And Ricky Starks is at he's in his mid-30s, and you held that man career up for what?
That one, yeah, that doesn't make sense to me.
That like I said, I could still call a spade a spade. That man should not have held his. And the thing is, not only did you hold this man career, you didn't do nothing with him. And I don't give a fuck. If you sitting up here caving in the Edge, that says a lot about Edge. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only thing that I could really point to. That was literally the decline of Ricky Starks. That promo that he had with Edge. So, and that was stupid. It was just, Edge should have knew better. You know what I'm saying? So, I could put a petition out on Tony Khan. But it's crazy. Oh, speaking of that, where's the Hurt Business?
They came out after the Gates of Agony match and challenged them to a street fight.
But what? They still
they lost to
have
them.
a claim to
They lost to them at All Out.
Gates back.
Well, do that.
Well, the score with the Gates of Agony before getting back in the tag titles, I
Because
guess.
they don't have no incentives on wrestling Bandito and whoever the fuck his tag team is. That was a dumb choice. That was a dumb choice. When FTR was in the match, and oh god, I don't want to go down that again. I don't want to go down that road again. But that was
They lost without getting pinned. So,
well. Do they? Well, first of all, do they have a claim to that championship? When people lose in AEW, do they have a rematch clause?
Normally, no.
I thought that was just wrestling rules. Like if you're the champion, you lose, you get out.
WWE cut that shit years ago.
Yeah, every now and then AEW may do rematches, but they don't really do rematches like that often.
Okay. Well, I could just see the decline in the Hurt Business, and you know the funny part. I mean, because what you gonna do after this? All right, y'all put the tag team titles on them. They had a little dominant reign or whatever for the tag team titles. Beat every nigger that came across them. I mean, slaughtered them. Brian Keith still ain't been seen, right?
No.
He's just won the championship
Oh,
on the
wait, no.
Indies.
Collision.
I'm sorry.
You'll see him on Collision, maybe. With Big Bill.
Oh, that's still a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just won a heavyweight championship on the indie promotion. And the Private Party, that is just awful. That is awful. That is that is that is awful. That and Wesley, it is I'm shocked that y'all been throwing out the Private Party periodically all of these years. And the second that they win the tag team who would have thought that winning the tag team championship in AEW was the worst thing to happen to this Private Party?
That's really sad that happened.
By this point, they could have had tag team title reigns and then broke up and became singles competitors and then, been the international champion and every other little secondary champion they had. It is just absolutely ridiculous that you got two young guys in shape and you choose to do nothing with them.
Wasted potential.
But they won't hesitate to do nothing with young whites. They won't hesitate to do nothing with young Mexies. Tony Khan is a racist. And he has to go. We've been patiently waiting on his mother to pass away. I honestly believe that when his mother passed away, I believe this wholeheartedly. When his mother passes away, he's going to lose all types of will to move on. He just struck me that way. But it's crazy when you sit there and think about that. And the fact that a year ago, white folk were talking about, hey, look, we got niggers, we got dirt business. When after the Gates of Agony, I don't see them doing anything. I don't see them going back to Bandito and them. I don't want to see them. They already feuded with the FTR. How many other tag teams is out there, Mike, for the Hurt Business?
Not a whole lot.
And it's going to cause MVP to make some more noise. MVP should have known that they was getting played. And it's funny, too, because I'm going to sit up here now and mark my words, and I'm saying this right now. White folk argument, let's say within a month or two, Hurt Business is completely dissolved. White folk is going to blame their age. Look how hyped up they was just a few months ago. And now we're starting to see a decline. And white folk is going to blame their age from the beginning. Same thing they was doing before. White folk funny because they was blaming his age when he didn't resign with the WWE because Triple H tried to lowball him, right? Yeah,
Right.
but he didn't lowball Randy Orton. He didn't lowball Sheamus.
Who in his time off got just let himself go. Just came back fat as hell. He was fat as shit.
Oh, I didn't even notice he was there. But he damn sure could get paid. And Bobby Lashley, who possibly had one of the greatest physiques in pro wrestling history, even to this day, they still refuse to do something with him. Hey, I say that every time I see Brock Lesnar body change. He's smaller, he's bigger, body is oblong, all types of shit. Bobby Lashley shape has consistently stayed the exact same the entire time. Didn't get no bigger, didn't get no smaller. He just didn't get fat. And that's natural. It's not.
I mean, Brock Lesnar came back. That was a striking difference from last time he was here.
Oh, he had a lot more time. All right. I just want to say this. Wrestling is ass. It is extremely hard to do this program discussing wrestling. Because since we started this program, we have watched American Negroes decline week after week. As a matter of fact, we reported every single week. To the point to where tonight, not a single American Negro wrestled on SmackDown. Not a single American Negro wrestled on Raw. There are no American Negroes wrestling at this pay-per-view coming up in the Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. And there has not been a single American Negro wrestling. They threw the Street Profits at us in Paris at the very last minute to tease a breakup 3 weeks ago. And they still haven't done nothing to push these brothers forward since that day. They threw them on there, by the way, at the last second. I didn't even know that they was wrestling until like an hour before they fucking wrestled. Let's be honest. And before then, we haven't had an American Negro wrestle since SummerSlam. It's coming to a head. Everything that Wrestling with Racism has been telling you over the last 2 years is happening right in front of our eyes. Yet they want you to continue to get excited with what we normally would perceive as the future in Trick Williams and Javon Evans and Obafemi, who is a Nigerian. But hey, where's the undercut for Swerve Strickland? Because we are seeing right in front of our very eyes, Powerhouse Hobbs just got passed over by his veteran tag team partner. Lee Moriarty, back to hell. Athena, back to hell. Lee Johnson, people still don't even know you, brother. So, and that's real. We watching the decline right in front of our very eyes. And they want us to continue to point down. But when we look forward, we can't help see that they're going to be extinct. Wrestling with Racism has presented everything that we could possibly present to you on this matter. And now it is up to you to do something about it. Start writing letters to the WWE headquarters at least once a month. Let them know your product is trash, and this is why. List the reasons. See, because like I said, TKO, it appears, is only seeing the bottom line. They don't know if the WWE is good or bad. They just see asses in the seats. We know. that them asses is not coming from Triple H either. WWE got a stigma that people are attracted to the program, but I do encourage each and every single American Negro to tune in. And as I stated before, if you could participate, contact me this week before Saturday at NonCrackers@Al. DM me and we will take your testimony. In the meantime, we got to get out of here. Take care of yourself as an individual and protect one another as family. As our ancestor, Frankie Beverly, stated plainly, we are one. And that's the way it is. This is the conclusion of this week's edition of Rasslin' with Racism. We will be back next week with the season 2 finale of Rasslin' with Racism, with the topic being, what makes a coon a coon? Is cooning a form of mental illness? And can a coon be restored? It's also going to tie in to our very important discussion on mental illness, in which I encourage each and every single American Negro to tune into. If you are willing to participate, contact me as soon as possible at NonCrackers@Al on Twitter X, where you can find more white truths. That is spelled NonCrackers@Al. Serious inquiries only, as this is a very important discussion for all to partake in as we continue to wrestle with racism. We here at Rasslin' with Racism hope that each and every single American Negro enjoyed this edition of Rasslin' with Racism, as we can assure you that Rasslin' with Racism is not the easiest thing in the world to do. We here at Rasslin' with Racism aim to exploit white truths. However, white truths isn't the easiest thing to live through. As we continue to wrestle with racism, we are in the second half of our second season, and Rasslin' with Racism is hiring for key positions. We are actively seeking an editor. If you are an editor and you are an American Negro, please feel free to DM me your resume. You must be in tune with professional wrestling and social issues regarding race, specifically with American Negroes. You may DM me at NonCrackers@Al with the L on the end on Twitter X, which is also the place where you can find more white truths. Rasslin' with Racism is also actively seeking an associate producer. Please DM me your resume if you are interested in the position. You may also DM me at NonCrackers@Al on Twitter X, which is also where you can find more white truths. To American Negroes, we encourage you all to voice your opinion on the state of professional wrestling and American Negroes' participation in professional wrestling on camera and behind the scenes, also in executive roles. If you would like to join HBK 400, Deportation 2025, the owner of a stolen gun, and our trusted, valued correspondents, Foundational Bearded American, and Duke CT from the Duke CT Lounge, feel free to DM me at Non-Crackers at Al on Twitter X, which is also the place where you can find more white truths. It is important for our voices to become collective as we are truly facing erasure. American Negroes, take care of yourself as an individual and protect one another as family. As our ancestor, Frankie Beverly, stated plainly, we are one. And that's the way it is. We here at Rasslin with Racism would like to thank each and every single American Negro for tuning in to this program. If you are not subscribed to Rasslin with Racism, check out the other content. And if it hits you to the core, subscribe and share with every single American Negro that you know, whether they are wrestling fans or not. Be sure to also tune in to Rasslin with Racism on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Fanbase, Spotify, and at Non-Crackers at Al on Twitter X, where you can find more white truths. This is also very important as we continue to wrestle with racism. American Negroes and American Negroes only, feel free to leave your comments below. Rasslin with Racism will return next week with a new edition of Rasslin with Racism. In the meantime, take care of yourselves as an individual and protect one another as family. As our dearly beloved ancestor Frankie Beverly stated plainly,